warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Syarifah Nursya Fahsa Anggawi, one of the student of the English Education Department from Widya Agama Mahakam University Samarinda. And this video is for my extensive reading assignment. So I need to tell a story about a novel that I read called Trouble in Mudbug. The genre of this book is paranormal mystery romance thing and tell a story about ghost in love mysteries. And the author is Janna de Leon. And the names of the characters that we will meet in the novel are Maris as the main character, Helena as the ghost in love, and Sabine as Maris's best friend, and also Hank as Maris's husband, and Harold as Helena's husband, Luc Lejeune, who is the DEQ agent who went undercover at Maris's office, and Mildred, who was Maris's father's girlfriend and been like a mother to Maris. There's also Thomas, who was Helena's doctor, and also Brian, he is Luc's co-worker and friend, and also Christopher, Maris's high school friend, and Mr. Wheeler as Helena's lawyer, and last but not least, Johnny, the owner of the bar where Maris and Sabine usually hang out. Maris, a botanist living in Mudbug, Louisiana. She is a married woman with an estranged husband named Hank and a house on the bayou. Helena's son, Hank, had Maris's life miserable for the brief time they were together, then made it even worse by despairing with loan sharks looking to get their money back. And Maris thought that a lot of her problems had gone away with her mother-in-law's death. The woman was rude. Helena was rude, manipulative, and used her considerable wealth to run her head over the entire town of Mudbug, Louisiana. And unfortunately, that doesn't slow down Helena one bit. The funeral service, she felt obligated to attend. Maris felt obligated to attend. She came with her friend named Sabine. It turned out that Luc could also see Helena, and he told Maris about that. Luc said it was because of a family tradition or something, and he doesn't know about it too. People in his family have been seeing the dead for so long. Luc told Maris that someone is trying to kill her, and there was someone accidentally caught her car brake lines. And her car accident before was an attempt to kill her, but it failed. The second attempted murder was when there was an explosion in her house, but fortunately she was safe. Luc thought Maris needed to get out of the town, but get out of the town to keep herself safe. But she can't leave the town because of the condition of Helena's will. And that said, if she leaves this town, then all the inheritance given to Hank. One day, office emergency alarm went off and spoils Luc and Mary's moment. Luc pulled a gun out of his top drawer and get out to find out what was happened outside. Maris's mind flashed back to Luc's action when the alarm went off. He looked like a professional, someone who had been through that same routine like a cop. At 2 a.m., an intruder broke into Maris's hotel room, and Helena realized it and told Maris to run from her hotel room. Maris ran all the way to the iron gate. The intruder tried to kill Maris, and what surprised her even more was the person Maris knew, Johnny, the bar owner, the bar where Maris and Sabine usually used to hang out. why Johnny wanted to kill Maris? It's because he thought that Maris was meddling too much into his business. He thought Maris's research was to find out the cause of her father's death, which was the chemical company waste dumped in the bayou. The fact that Johnny knew all along made Maris so angry. When Johnny wanted to kill Maris, Luke had came with the police, and finally Johnny was arrested. On the other side, Harold got picked up by police at the motel where he stayed, and he won't be leaving for a long time. Harold confessed to murdering his wife, but actually he didn't kill Helena. Luckily, Harold indeed slipped red poison in Helena's coffee, but Helena's medical file didn't indicate any of the symptoms from the poisoning at all. He might try to kill her but didn't succeed. On the other hand, Hank was gone. He left the hospital and left a letter on the hospital bed for Maris. The letter was a divorce decree with Hank's sign in it. Luke had a good idea what happened about Maris's research. One of the plants Maris sent for testing was from a contaminated area. When the chemical company knew that, they assumed that Maris was onto them, and they threatened Johnny to immediately fix the situation. This is the reason why Johnny wanted to kill Maris. Mary's research was a sort of false positive. She didn't discover a plant that cured cancer, but what she discovered was a plant loaded with radiation from illegal dumping. So she simply given her dad the radiation treatment that her dad refused, belonging to the contaminated plant. Actually, there was no cure, at least not in Mudbug. Maris felt the time she had spent on her research was wasted, and even worse, she unknowingly endangered everyone else in the process of trying to find a cure that didn't even exist, and she was devastated about it. Helena talked to Maris to make Maris saw the good in a bad situation. Helena also talked about Luke, and Helena said Luke wasn't like Harold or Hank Henry, so Maris didn't have to push him out. Maris back to the office to sort things out with Luke, and she found her closer with Luke and confesses their feeling for each other. Since Luke's job and the university lab, which is the lab where Mavis's research is located, are in New Orleans, maybe keeping Luke's apartment there isn't such a bad idea for them. So maybe they decided to live together in New Orleans and live happily ever after. A very touching moment when Maris and Luke told Mildred and Sabine about their plans to live in New Orleans together. Mildred was ecstatic and happy about it. Helena saw that and felt her own eyes glaze over, both with joy and regret. Could only hope that the next one didn't cause Maris the trouble Helena had. But all that was behind them now. Maris was safe and the land was protected. Luke had the things in motion, and Helena had no doubt that her exhumation was just around the corner. Maybe then she'd get the answers she needed to leave this earth. That's a short story from the novel Trouble in Mudbug. And I want to say what I like about this novel are that it is easy and fun to read, but what I don't like is there are too many new characters and the backstory, and then an accused doctor that never mentioned again. But overall, it's a good book to read when you have free time or when you're relaxing. I think that's all I can say for today. Don't forget to cultivate the habit of reading books. See you at another time. Stay healthy and stay safe. Goodbye.